Check. How's the snare in your headphones? Good morning, everybody. How we doing? What? Trent's in the review. Fade City coming up, guys. Stop that. No, but in all seriousness, I think Cornfield said it. There might be a new fucking fade god. And I think you're looking at him. I did trim up the beard. I hope that's okay. What's up, Kadex? How you doing? I saw you in the YouTube lobby, nice and early, hanging out. Love that. Graylish, what's up? Book of Chew second. You're actually third. That's okay. You didn't see the YouTube comment. What's up, Sports Dork? DJ Fitz. Good morning, everybody. Excited for the stream. Me too. Can't wait for Trent to say wagon a billion times about SGA. Well, I mean, SGA is probably one of, if not the best basketball players I've ever seen in my entire life. Trent still got crusties in his eyes. You know, someone said it. Morning peeps. What's up, Brennan? Trent up early as well. I thought the same thing. He's already in the fucking queue right now. He just got up, though, so we'll give him a second. He's already in the queue. I told this guy, I was like, listen, I didn't know if you were a morning person or not. I'm trying to be polite and respectful. I don't want to have to get you up here at the, 9 a.m. Central Time. So I was going to have him come on a little later. Now, I couldn't do too late because I have a hard stop today. I got to get out of here no later than 11:15. I am Corp this afternoon, but very thrilled that Trent is coming on to talk the NBA playoffs. Finals. DJ and Trent, the two goats, only missing Krabs around at the top three. W's. Yep. Trent banged the Fugazi 4 yesterday. I think he did. I fell off a truck and broke my ass. Shambles. I hear you. Although, how about those Nationals? How about those Nationals last night? I saw Krabs was at the game, and I thought, oh, my God, here we fucking go. Not that Krabs is any sort of live in-person mush, but you know how that goes. When a fan goes to see their team, obviously it typically sometimes means they're going to be set up for pain. Nate, baby, what's up? Yeah, is that who it was? Was it Nathaniel Lau that hit that home run? W. Goodwill shirt. That's right. This one might be my favorite. I think this is my favorite Tony Soprano shirt. Also, it's got like the loose sleeves. This is the I'm driving around and collecting money sleeve. You know what I mean? Like if somebody has this sleeve, they definitely know somebody that's in higher up in waste management. Good morning, everybody. So Trent's here early. Again, he did just step away, which is totally fine. I wasn't going to have him come on until 10:30 towards the end, but we'll just run it in the beginning. So we'll get him up here whenever he gets back and shoot the shit for a few minutes. I'm going to assume that the majority of our followers probably are familiar with Trent as well. I'm sure we share. You guys probably came across me coming on Trent's stream, at least the guys in here that are in Twitch. What's up? YouTube's bumping today. What's up, BK? How you doing? Red Sox walk-off. That was legendary. Good for Steak. He needed it. We need it. Top of the morning, DJ. What's up, Reggie? How we doing? Yeah, finally one rolled my way. Love to hear that, Aherna. The Giants was an insane W. What was the final score of that game? I didn't even look. I almost took the Padres. I took their team total. Please tell me they scored over 3.5 runs. What was the final score of that game? Please tell me. I don't even want to look. I do have 6-5. Hey, there we go. Love that. BK old ass would use YouTube to watch. Yeah, no shit. Hold on. I got a Corp text coming in. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a fucking power hour. That's the way I'm looking at this. Okay. So I got a hard stop kind of around 11 a.m. and then I got to run out after that. So we're going to talk NBA finals. I do want to recap a little bit of the Panthers-Oilers last night. Yeah, I fucking know I fell asleep in overtime. All right, get off my ass, BK. I got Shady Beeve also chirping at me in the DMs or in the reply section as well. Go fuck yourself, whoever said that. Okay, had Angels plus 1.5 to win a parlay in the shortest home run MLB history walk-off. Yeah, that's brutal, dude. Trent, I see you in there. Are you ready to go? Fuck yeah, dude. Well, first and foremost, good morning. You're not at the Book at HQ. You're at your apartment?
Correct. Is my mic working?
Yeah, you actually sound really good.
Fuck yes, dude. Let's go.
Is that one of those? Is your mic connected, or is that on your hat right now?
Yeah.
That's like the official in real life streamer microphone.
Yeah.
That I don't even know where you buy though. Do you get that at Best Buy?
I think so. I think Yale, my guy Nick Yale.
Yeah. I think I met Nick. Is that one of the dudes that came? So I'll back it up for a second. I met Trent in person when he came to New York a couple years ago. We met somewhere in downtown Brooklyn. It was not the greatest place in the world. Downtown Brooklyn is a shithole. I don't even know what you were doing there at the time. And I've been following you for years. I think I followed you on Twitter since when you had like 30, 40,000 followers.
Yeah.
So you've gotten much bigger now, but you've been doing the surgical stream for a few years. I started coming on the surgical stream. I went on a nice little run when I came on. It was awesome. Got a nice little following from there. There are a bunch of dudes who are still in here who I see in your chat all the time. But I mean, I probably have a few boomers in here who probably aren't super familiar. And I'm not trying to do this whole tell me your backstory thing, but how old are you?
27.
You're 27 years old. Okay. So, and you've been doing the surgical stream now, what, since COVID? Like 2020? Is it 5 years running?
2020.
Okay. So I have to ask you, you've been doing this 5 years. I've been doing the board review for almost, I would say maybe 2.5 years now. I thought I could do this sun up to sundown, no problem. You're hanging out, you're talking about sports. I get tired.
Oh yeah.
I started doing this for an hour, then I started doing it for an hour and a half. Then I've been doing it as consistently as I can for 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You go about 2 hours as well, from 2 to 4. Do you get exhausted?
Absolutely, dude. By the time I'm done with my stream, my brain is fucking mush.
So do you have like a post-stream routine? Like do you eat some sort of food? Do you drink something? Do you just sit down and look at a wall?
Yeah, I usually will go sit down, open my phone, go on Twitter because I haven't seen it the past 2.5, 3 hours, and then I'll post my plays, post on all my platforms, Instagram, Picket, Twitter, which takes, at least an hour to do all that.
You wouldn't think this, but again, since I'm trying to fucking like grow the brand and push on social media and shit, I was so late to the TikTok game. I've got a fucking little Instagram going, it's not doing anything. My brain is so fried that even when I just try to like clip a 30-minute thing from the show, then post it on Twitter, then post on TikTok, post on you, I feel like I hit a wall and my brain's fried. So you're the only other guy that I've talked to who does this like day to day. And I was just wondering, I'm just making sure I'm not on an island here because you're also younger than me and I'm old and washed. You get tired doing that.
Absolutely. You are completely normal for feeling that way because it's tedious as heck. But you got to do it for sure.
What is, first of all, I had no idea you were a morning person. You're up at the ass.
Absolutely could not be further from a morning person, but it's game 1 of the NBA Finals, and I'm feeling great, and I wanted to be up and dialed for the show, dude.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I thought I didn't want to get you up too early because I didn't want you to fucking have to roll out of bed, not be in tip-top shape. You got a cup of coffee already that looks like that you're cranking. You've been texting me since 7 a.m. Like, where's the fucking link? I'm over here thinking I'm trying to let you sleep as long as you can before I get you out of bed and on camera.
I mean, it takes a lot because I got this guy over here, if you can see him.
Yeah, W Dog Dad. I see Manny. He's adorable.
Yeah, I'm actually taking him in a couple hours to a boot camp for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Dog boot camp?
Yeah, he needs to be trained, bro. I love him so much. He's a great dog, but that's something I definitely always wanted to do, and I've almost kind of waited too long to do it, so I don't want to wait any longer. So
yeah, I don't blame you. By the way, having a puppy is a motherfucker, isn't it?
Oh my God. Like, there's so many great things about it, but like even last night, dude, this was the first time last night I streamed from this little setup at home, and like I was so stressed getting this fucking audio situation figured out, and finally I got everything set up, and then of course he starts going haywire, and it was impossible to get him to chill the fuck out. So I was like, thank God I'm taking him this shit tomorrow because he's got to figure his shit out. So
when you have your dog who it's a real responsibility. I'm not going to say you compare it to a kid necessarily, but it is a responsibility. When you have your dog away to boot camp for 2 weeks, are you immediately feeling like a bachelor? Like, oh shit, I'm free. Like I'm going to take advantage of as much free time as possible. Where are you going on trips? Yeah. Are you going on trips?
So the reason why I did it in the first place, because I was supposed to be going to Hawaii this weekend, and like I have this big family reunion in Hawaii with like my entire family, but my grandpa actually just got sick, and so he's in the hospital, and we are not going anymore. So I still wanted to follow through with taking him to it, and I'm going to end up going to an NBA Finals game. I'm going to go to a Stanley Cup game instead, which will be a lot of fun. So I'm still going to take advantage of having the freedom without him. Definitely need to. And especially, I was so excited to go to Hawaii. But, it's whatever. I'm going to go to OKC and spend some time with my grandpa. I mean, it's crazy that my grandpa is like affiliated with the group that was in charge of bringing the Thunder from Seattle to OKC. Like, he was in all the meetings and was like one of the 4 main guys in that whole situation. And so that's why I'm such a huge Thunder fan, is because from the jump, I went to the first ever OKC Hornets game, actually, if you didn't know that was the team, with Chris Paul. And that was kind of when I fell in love with basketball. And, I grew up in Newport Beach, California, so I could have been a Lakers fan my whole life, but I just never really bought in. I didn't really like basketball like that when I was 9, 10 years old. But then I went to my first ever game, sat courtside, and I was like, dude, this is my shit. Like, I love this team. And then, of course, they became the Thunder the next year, and it was easy to fall in love with this team, considering, they were still really bad, even with Durant and Westbrook in the early days, like in 08, 09, they were one of the worst teams in the league. But then after that year, like, they just were consistently in the top, 2, 3 seeds, and the success just happened so quick. And it was just so easy to fall in love with this team. So ever since then, like, I grew up on OKC right when they first became a team, and I've just never looked back. And so being a part of the journey of the highs and the lows of this team have been such a fun ride, and it feels like it's finally going to be all worth it. We just got to get through, 4 more games here.
Well, thank you for giving us that rundown, because that was going to be my like top question, is how the hell did you become an Oklahoma City Thunder fan?
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. So you weren't a big basketball guy, so I don't really know how much you remember the old school basketball days. I grew up in Orlando. I'm obviously a Magic fan, but when I fell in love with basketball, I actually fell in love with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp on the Sonics. And I still always had, like, once they left, they traded fucking Gary Payton, like the Bucks, for Ray Allen, which got weird. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Sonics fan. I was a Gary Payton and Sean Kemp fan. So my allegiance was the Magic, but I always kept my eyes on the Sonics. And when they left Seattle to go to Oklahoma City, all I could think of was like, okay, I always heard Seattle had like a really shitty stadium. Like, the hype wasn't there. But Oklahoma City's such a random fucking place for basketball.
I know.
So,
I was shocked too.
Okay, so you're shocked too. So you've been there. You've been going since day one. They've always seemed like from the very first game I can remember watching on TV, like they've had insane fans and an electric atmosphere in the stadium.
Dude, it's insane, bro.
Okay, so that backs up.
Game 7 was legit against the Nuggets. I was at that game where that cool picture with me and SGA was taken. That was the loudest environment I've ever been in any game, and I've gone to so many games. I've gone to multiple Super Bowls. I mean, that was insane, dude. The city, that's all they have is OU sports and, maybe some OSUs, but OU is definitely, the prime, and the Thunder. And before the Thunder, there was literally nothing.
Right.
And so I think that when it was the OKC Hornets and the NBA saw like how devoted this fan base was right out of the gates, they were like, shit, we got to bring a team here. And I mean, it's definitely been a success because the whole city rallies around it. And like, that's what makes this team so likable. And honestly, from the outside looking in at this team, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people hate the Thunder. They hate this rapid success. They're not giving Sam Presti the credit that he deserves.
Yeah.
And I understand it. They aura farm. They're silly on the bench. They're, throwing towels at each other and all this shit. But like, it's just such a family oriented team. And like that, the blue collar OKC fan is just like in awe right now. And it just brings the whole tight, close knit community of OKC together in like ways that I never could have imagined. And by the way, I have huge family ties in OKC. That's where my mom is from. And like, we have a family of like 30 that are all in OKC. And my mom's the only one in her family to move from OKC to Newport Beach, where, my dad was from. And she was the only one in the family to leave Oklahoma. But every Christmas I've ever had in my life, I've been in OKC for it. And that's why I'm always at a Christmas Thunder game, which they always were playing Christmas Day games. But then once Durant and Westbrook left, they stopped getting that. which was so stupid because they were still really good, but it was always a tradition. Christmas Day, we'd go to the Thunder game, my favorite thing ever. But they haven't had one in years. So they always play the day after now, and it's always against the fucking Hornets or some shit. But now they're getting their respect. They'll definitely be playing on Christmas for,
Bro, they're gonna be a fucking dynasty for the next decade. Sam Presti is a dog. I'm glad you brought him up. I don't understand anyone who hates the Oklahoma City Thunder, to be honest with you. I feel like there are people who genuinely want big markets like Celtics, Lakers, and Yankees, Dodgers. Not one of those guys. But this all makes so much sense because I always find it interesting when you meet people who are fans of like random teams scattered throughout. And definitely in the back of my mind, when obviously I'm following you, I'm like, okay, you like the Angels and you like the Oklahoma City Thunder. How the fuck does that make any sense? But now I get it a little bit more now. So you were like living in California, family from Oklahoma City, but not to transition. I want to talk a lot about basketball and the Thunder in the game, but you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
I mean, like that one's more like OKC is the only team I genuinely have passion and like heart for in any sport.
Okay.
Anything else besides the Angels, I do absolutely still love the Angels. It's hard to, root for them right now. They're so rat pissed. But any other team is strictly, meme/betting purposes.
Okay.
I never had a football team growing up because they never had one in SoCal, except for the Chargers in San Diego. But I just never really classified myself as a true fan of them. Baseball, Angels, hockey. I was really young when the Ducks won the Cup. I still remember there was a couple players that lived in my neighborhood, the Niedermeyers. I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah.
And I definitely liked the Ducks, but Fruity's a diehard Ducks fan. And so for me to claim myself as a Ducks fan, he would just chirp the fuck out of me. So I don't really claim fanship of the Ducks. I absolutely root for them. But the Leafs is more just like, I feel bad for this franchise, bro. I feel so bad. I feel horrible, bro. I mean, like every year it's the same shit.
I do too. I have a soft spot in a weird way for like I meet a lot of Canadians in New York. You meet a lot of Aussies. You meet a lot of Canadians. You meet a lot of people from London. Like Canadians are good people, right? I always have a soft spot. Like when the Raptors won, I'm like, this is cool. It's different, and it like gives something for them. The Maple Leafs, I really wouldn't mind seeing them like get one, but you being a fan and then even going to a game was just unbelievable. Like you kind of knew what you were getting into. And I also I love the bit of the angry fans in your DMs, but at the same time, just as someone who wants like I want the best for humanity and society, seeing those people sometimes actually is like a gut punch because you genuinely believe that they think you have something to do with the result when the Leafs have been shit for over a decade. It has nothing to do with BookitWithTrent being their boots on ground. But I did think that was hilarious. I have a question that I do have to ask you, though, and I think I asked you this when I came on your stream recently. When you do go to these games and people, whether they talk shit to you in person or whatever, you're like beloved, feels like you probably have had experiences where you've gone to certain cities or sporting events where people see you and they're like, oh, fuck. Like, what? Like, this is not going to end well. Or they see you and they love it. I remember when you went to Ole Miss, it looked like you were treated like a fucking god there.
Dude, that was the craziest.
So I was just curious, like when you have got, because you travel a lot for sporting events and whatnot, when you go places, do you have like your safe haven of teams or cities where when you're there, like you don't have to worry about anything? Nobody cares if you mush it, like they're just down for a good time.
I mean, having Big Dave with us wherever we go is certainly, a great way to go about things because no one's going to fuck with me. But I've never had a bad interaction in person except for one. This kid was pissing me the fuck off after TCU lost against Kansas State in that championship game, the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
We were on the 1 yard line and like, I don't know why we didn't give it to Duggan.
Oh, I remember. I had TCU that game.
And that shit hurt so fucking bad. And this one kid was just nonstop, like would not stop giving me shit on the way out. And it was like the one time where I was like, dude, I'm going to beat the fuck out of this kid. But other than that, I get a bunch of shit talk in my DMs, but I know 99% of those people wouldn't say that shit to my face. So I don't really give a shit.
But Ole Miss looked like a great time.
Dude, that was like I felt like fucking Portnoy in that moment. Walking down what do you call it? What do they call it there? The Grove. It was insane. It was absolutely insane, dude.
And they won that game. It was a wild game, wasn't it?
That was the craziest game. It was Jaden Daniels versus Jackson Dart.
Yep. It was like 56-49 or something.
Yeah. I think Judkins had like 4 touchdowns or some shit. Yeah.
So doing the surgical stream, I've, for whatever reason, for my work schedule, I always plan things later in the afternoon and the evening so that I can do my stream and whatnot. Usually on my commute, I'm listening to BTL. I pop in and out of the surgical stream, but you have probably 50 to 60 people that come on there, I would say on average on a day. If I had to guess, maybe it's more, maybe it's less or whatnot. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of like top, I believe you would call them surgeons, like a Mount Rushmore of guys where if you had to form, a super team, nobody within Book It, no Javons, no Crabs, no nothing, just guys that come on. Do you have a Mount Rushmore or a super team of people that come on the surgical stream who you think are like you would rely on to give you the best plays or sharpest reads?
Chat, dude. Who's in my Mount Rushmore, man?
Who's in your Mount Rushmore?
Who's in it?
DJ Fitz.
Are we talking about quality of plays or like
quality? Like listen, I know, and I'm not speaking for you. I know when there are people who come on there and they give you their pitch, you probably tune out and you don't hear a fucking word they say. Because I put myself in your shoes and I would do the same thing. But you do a very, very good job of being polite and being respectful. And like someone goes through a 90-second pitch where they probably could have ended it 30 seconds ago and you're like, all right, good stuff, thanks dude, appreciate it, blah blah blah, whatever. In my head, I'm like, I don't think you heard a word this person said. I also think that's probably happened to me sometimes when I've rambled for 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah,
but there's got to be guys that come on there when they come on and they talk and you really like, all right, I want to tail this, I want to take this. When they give you something, you're like, you're listening, you're hanging on to every word. Nobody's coming to top of mind.
No, I mean, there's definitely some guys, but I'm seeing chat here say Fat Girls. Chat, Fat Girls is so far behind the barn right now. He is not on that Mount Rushmore. Okay? That man made me
Fat Girls.
Jalen Green 4 nights in a row, and it was the last leg of my parlay 4 different times, and it sold all 4 times. That's why he's in the bin.
Did he lose his mod status or something? Somebody told me.
Yeah, dude. He's been in punishment for the last couple of weeks. I gotta give my flowers to Chewy, man. He's come through every day for like 3 years, batting leadoff. He's goated. And
Chewy's great. We love Chewy in here.
Chewy's goated. My guy Snowman Sports. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's
love Snowman.
Goated. He's absolutely goated.
Snowman's great. I feel Snowman has been the guy where we've said is probably the dude where if you are fortunate enough to get on Jeopardy, but then you see Snowman's up there, like you just know you're fucked.
Yeah,
Snowman would probably crush Jeopardy. So we want to stump the Snowman and try to come up with like a weekly thing where we ask him questions and see what he doesn't know. Yeah, he's good. Okay, if there's nobody that's really coming to mind, then that's fair enough.
I got Snowman, my guy, straight locks. He's absolutely goated. Adam's got whales, goated.
Adam's got whales.
Yeah,
that's good enough.
Billiam Gates, or you know Billiam Gates?
No. Okay, all right. That's another question I want to ask you, and then I promise we'll talk ball. The terminology and the lingo that I feel like you coined. As someone from my age, I have to tell you, I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do. I find sometimes that I'm saying this in like the real world, in real life, and I have to check myself. I have to like stop. Whether it's Twitch lingo, sports betting lingo, or if it's Book It lingo. I think I might have given you too much credit because I thought that you've come up with a lot of these, even like GGs. But people were telling me like, no, GG's been around for a long time. It means good game. I thought you created that. Obviously, I think your thing's probably like we'll be seeing or whatnot. But these other things like Nukenheimers, fucking Mega Maxes, Whale. The only one I don't like is Plus Chicken. For whatever reason, that's like
I don't like that one either.
But the terminology and the lingo, is this something that you have just heard and stuck with, or did you come up with these words yourself?
So one of my best friends,
Flounder meat.
One of my best friends, he's usually in my chats. His name's The Chemist. We were best friends growing up. We lived next to each other when we were kids, and we were roommates at TCU. We always just said the stupidest shit, like had the stupidest lingo. We'd come up with nicknames for like everything. And it was just kind of the way I grew up talking. And I played on this travel baseball team. And my baseball coach for like 11 years had like just the biggest potty mouth / like the stupidest phrases and sayings. So just like a mixture of like my friend and like a mixture of being on this baseball team for 11 years and having a ridiculously insane head coach. Like, I don't know. I just grew up having a fucking Cali slang. And I'm just taking it into sports betting somehow and, trying to make it work, but definitely have seen it evolve over the years and people catch on to it. And I love seeing, when I'm scrolling through the feed and I see someone I don't even know, use it in some sort of way. It's really funny, but, I try to not be super annoying with it. I try to use it in moderation, but yeah, just everything's coming naturally, dude. It's crazy. It's hilarious though.
It's great. I'm also saying like you cooked a lot lately. Like if somebody does something really good in life, I'll just be like, wow, you cooked.
Yeah, I hate Plus Chicken though. I hate that one.
Okay, so we align on the Plus Chicken. I'm out on the Plus Chicken. And
I got that from Buzz.
I do. Yeah.
Buzz always came on stream and would give us, ball sack steak plus chicken. And
Buzz is great.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
I would say Buzz is probably one of the guys when he comes on, like I'm tuned in because he's going to give you some random fucking fact of like, oh, they're handing out puka shell necklaces, and this guy's from Hawaii, and I'm taking his over fucking points tonight or something like that. The last gripe I have, and then we'll get into the Pacers Thunder, is nothing that you do, but I feel like, again, putting myself in your shoes as a host for 2 hours every day, I can't believe, and I tell my chat this all the time, and I'm like, guys, I know it's polite when you come on to say, Trent, how are you doing? But I just don't know that it needs to happen 75 times.
I did that. I took action yesterday on this because I was obviously sad yesterday going into my stream.
Sure.
And I addressed, my grandpa's not doing well. I'm fine though. Like, let's just find some winners and have a fucking day. Surgeons, when you come on, you don't need to say anything about it. Let's have a day. And no one said shit about it, and it was great. So definitely need to do that shit more often.
Yeah. How you doing, Trent? I'm good. How are you? Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know after the first time that you're doing good. All right. So first and foremost, I saw somebody in here comment much earlier in the stream. Trent, please don't bet the Thunder tonight. Do you bet on your favorite team often?
I definitely have nuked OKC a lot this season, and it was, how could I not? They were winning every fucking game. There were times where, the books would make them minus 130 against the Grizzlies, and they're at home, and I'm like, okay, I'm nuking it. Like, I just don't even see a world where it's going to be a close game, and they win by 30. They absolutely respect coin. Against the spread, however, I've definitely been burned quite a good amount against the spread. Money line, they always come through. But there was a big ass hole in the wall at the house we were living at because they were actually playing the fucking Pacers, and they won by 6. I had 6.5, and I was so fucking pissed. I had so much coin on this play. I was so confident that they were going to cover, and they didn't the Pacers didn't foul when they easily should have fouled to send them to the free throw line. And I'm live streaming, and I got so pissed, dude. And I kicked this fat hole in the wall, and we had to pay, to fix it. But yeah, I've bet on them a lot this season, and they've come through for me. I took Rav to sit courtside for a T-Wolves Thunder regular season game, and the spread was 9.5, and they're up 11 with it was literally like the Knicks Pacers game that they blew a 17-point lead with a minute and a half, exact same script, and they ended up losing outright. It was the craziest shit ever. And that's what's like a little bit scary to me is I feel like OKC is going to have one of those games in this series where they just give it away like they did to the in the Nuggets series, game 1. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
They were winning. They had it sealed. They somehow let the Nuggets fucking get back in the game, and then Aaron Gordon makes a dagger 3 game. Just gave that game away. I thought that was going to be the end of the season, honestly. But yeah, I'm worried about those games. But if we avoid the late game bullshit, I mean, this should be easy.
Yeah, I don't think you need to worry. And I'm not trying to jinx it or be superstitious or anything, but like if I'm a Thunder fan, I'm not worried about the Thunder not winning the finals. I truly am not. Like I think the Thunder are going to win the finals. It's a matter of how close are these games going to be? How long is the series going to be? I would go into every game being confident. However, I would respect my opponent. Do you respect the Indiana Pacers, or do you think it's completely fluke?
No, I definitely respect it. I mean, how the hell did they get this far? As much as I want to chirp and shit on C-Blez, he has insane value on that futures ticket. He saw it the whole way. Fuck C-Blez, though.
It is a nice ticket, though. I got to give him credit. It's a fucking nice ticket.
Now that I'm on his platform right now, fuck steak, dude. Fuck steak.
Dude, you and Steak chirping at each other. I can't believe we didn't have you on when the dog of the day was running hot.
Dude, that shit was ruining my fucking day.
He wasn't fading you one time.
I know he wasn't.
Okay. Because I know that it could be perceived that some people are out there just taking the opposite of what you're on. I can wholeheartedly say, I don't think there's been one time Steak and I have tried to get in the lab and think about what to play and be like, oh, what's Trent on? Because we want to be sure we're on the other side.
I would literally like not even post my parlay graphic of like, you know, obviously I throw a lot of heavy juice teams and parlays every single day.
Celtics minus 1,000.
Yeah. And I would wait for him to post first to make sure that he wasn't fading me, because it felt like for a while there, like every day, the one heavy favorite I have in my parlay, oh, he's on fucking Pistons plus 600. Great. You know?
I don't even know. The annoying thing about him is like you don't know how his brain works. It's just like it's kind of unique, and when it's brilliant at times, it's kind of Rain Man-ish when it's working. I mean, he can certainly look like a fucking idiot. I'm sure. I mean, obviously we all can, but I couldn't even. We would do our show in the morning, and he wouldn't know what he'd like. He's like, it's got to come to me. It's got to marinate. I have to think it over. And then at like 3-4 o'clock, he would take like the fucking Hornets plus 8.5 first quarter, first half, money line, and all this shit. And I'm like, how did you land on that? The Hornets against the Rockets or something. But then I saw it just so happened to be against you, I think like 5 straight games. Yeah. You had these heavy juiced favorites in your parlay, and they would lose outright. And Steak is fucking on this insane run of dog of the day.
Dude, it was like a cycle every day. My guy Rav, who works with us, he'd be like, yeah, you see Steak's dog of the day? I'm like, no, what is it, dude? Tell me it's not the fucking Pistons. He's like,
yeah,
like,
yeah, that was definitely a shining moment. You had not to get off the game again, but again, for someone who goes by the fade god, you had a nice stretch of being hot as fuck in something recently. Was it primetime NFL games?
Dude, the NFL primetime games that last year, it like the favorites covered, I swear, 80% of the time.
Were you only betting the favorites though?
Dude, there were, yeah, PTT is primetime Trent, but okay. I think the list, if you see how many spreads I got correctly, I think there's like 4 dogs on there out of like 37. And I managed to, you know, somehow get the 4 dogs to cover right. But it was crazy, dude. It was like, I just wasn't overthinking it. I wasn't getting sharp or too cute. You know, I was just going with the gut, and honestly, just not overthinking anything. You know, if like I don't even know how I was doing it, to be honest with you. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, on the brightest stage, I had Chiefs ML for so much coin in the Super Bowl. That was a fucking dono.
Yeah, that sucked. I'll be honest. I mean, I didn't see that coming, but I definitely am admiring because I mean, I came up with the contrarian betting style as I started to get into sports betting Twitter. Obviously, that's how I came across Krabs, and it felt like we were fucking on the top of the world for like a short period of time, and then now it's I'm having such a tough time evolving to just not overthinking it, but it's great. It's like it's refreshing to hear someone like yourself when you pick a game and finding success with it. And you're just like, you look at the matchup, you look at the two teams, and you're like, the fucking Lions are going to beat the shit out of the Colts. Like, I don't care that it's -4.5. Maybe it should be a touchdown. I don't care
Yes.
about anything. The Lions are going to
Yes.
beat the shit, and then they do. And then that's how it would be. That's how you would pick your games.
Legit, yeah. Because like
So,
usually, weird ass spread like that. What do they know?
yeah.
And usually they're right. But this past year, that did not happen too many times.
So getting into this Indiana the Pacers and Thunder series, do you have I love doing these exact games like the script. How does it play out? Who wins what game? And obviously, do you think it's going to go 6-7, etc.? What do you have in your head, not in terms of game by game, but what do you have right now in your head of who's going to win and how many games?
I absolutely don't think it'll be a sweep. No
Okay.
chance. No
Okay.
chance. I'm going with Thunder in 5. Like I'm 90% sure that's what's going to be the outcome. The only thing that's scaring me off that is 90% of people also think the same thing. But 5. I'm going 5 for sure.
5 total games, or 5 games exactly, is 2-1. By the way, that what you were talking about with the Thunder giving games away or blowing big leads, I heard of that. You could take either team to come back from a 20-point deficit and win it throughout this series is like 4-1, which I thought was kind of interesting because I do think one of these teams is capable of doing that. So I'm kind of with you, except for a different way. I took over 5.5 games, and it's not because I don't respect the Thunder. I really do. I think I've told you I went to, for whatever reason, I get steaks courtside plug when I go to Orlando, and I go to a couple games a year, and it's great. Going to a game courtside ruins you, by the way. Like it's hard to ever go to a game not
Dude, I
courtside.
can't go to another one normal.
If you a guy told me this, there's something maybe people in the chat know, it's called the Legend Suite at Yankees games, where it's got you eat steak and lobster buffet, and he was like,
Yeah.
dude, I went once, like a guy from work took me. I wish I never went because now I can't go sit in the 2 or 300s anymore. It ruins your experience. But we got there early. We watched SGA and the Thunder warm up, and I was just watching how smooth he was. And then in the game, I mean, went out and dropped 40, and I said to Steak, and I mean, we've been going to Magic games forever. I'm like, I think SGA is the best player I've ever seen in my life. Like in person, the best player I've ever seen.
100%, bro. He is like smooth butter watching him, especially
Smooth butter.
courtside.
I think that the Pacers are good enough to win 2 games in this series. I don't know which ones exactly, though. I'm having a tough time thinking of I think they're going to steal one of these first 2 in Oklahoma City.
Dude.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You
I
don't
think
think
it's so hard to win in OKC. Like it's definitely top 3 hardest places to play, and considering the environment and the defense they've been playing, dude. I don't think the Pacers are going to be able to keep up the consistency with their shooting the way they did with the Knicks and with the Bucks, and it's insane. I mean, watching that Knicks series, it felt like there were magnets in the fucking hoop, like especially with Naismith. That's why I just posted my NBA series prize picks, and I can talk about it.
Yeah,
But
please do.
I think Naismith is going to be absolutely strapped, and same with Halliburton as well. I think it's going to be a Siakam-led Pacers team the rest of the way. I would not be shocked in the slightest to see Halliburton have 2 games where he has 4 or 6 points, 100%.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking, I mean, Siakam is incredible, and I know he won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I was thinking not necessarily about fading Siakam, but I was thinking that Siakam was going to struggle a lot more with the matchup in the Thunder because the Knicks, they waited late into the series to start playing 2 bigs at the same time with Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns. But Towns is such a liability on defense.
He is fucking. If he was on my favorite team, dude, I would be pissed.
Sure. I totally agree. I think if he had any sort of dog in him, he has the ability to be one of the best players in the NBA.
Dude, yes.
But here's the thing. Siakam kind of got it easy. Also, the Pacers, like their transition and their outlet passes, they kept getting, it was like getting behind the defense. Like if you play safety, don't let anyone get behind you. I couldn't believe it from the Knicks, but they really did just run out of gas. I have a hard time thinking Siakam finds that kind of ease getting to the basket with the Thunder's defense. What I was thinking, so I'm looking at your prize picks right now. I'll see if I can share my screen, although I don't even know if people can really see it, but you've got 4 players. So this is a series bet. Yeah, it's a series bet. You've got SGA over 6.5 assists per game. Dortz over 1.5 3 points per game. These are averages. This is fun. Okay, you've got Halliburton under rebounds, 4.7 for the series. Neesmith points per game under 11.5.
Yeah.
I'll give you the guy I'm thinking about on the Thunder that I think is going to be the X factor, and it kind of leads into fading Siakam. I have been very impressed with what I've seen from Chet Holmgren.
Me too.
All I could tell myself is I think this guy is going to get rebound after rebound after rebound every game. And I thought I was going to be cheeky and sharp. So I went in here and I loaded up fucking DraftKings to see, because you can take for the series like the leading point scorer, assists, and rebounds. He's minus 185. So yeah, I mean, apparently I'm not fucking thinking anything like outside of the box here. Chet Holmgren is probably going to dominate the glass and get a lot of rebounds. But I'm thinking the Pacers steal one of the first 2. I think it could be tonight. I saw somebody say they're in here tonight. Although quantitative eating, this guy in our YouTube chat is on fucking fire. He said POD Thunder -9. This guy, I think he's 11-2 in his last 13 PODs. So you don't want to be on the opposite side of him. I like Holmgren for the Thunder, and my X factor for the Pacers. I think their bench is going to have to come through and step up, and I think it's going to be TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
How to play it though, I don't necessarily know. So that's your series prize picks. Do you have anything that you like tonight?
Tonight, I haven't dug fully into it. I've been really just thinking about what I'm going to do for the series.
Sure.
It's really, really hard to pick players against the Thunder for props. It is so damn hard because there's always, 2 guys getting absolutely strapped the entire game with Caruso and Dort. And I feel like it's almost every game there's a new guy that has to step up. So it's really hard, dude. I've been, obviously watching every single game and having prize picks every single game. And that's why I've been taking so many field goal attempts plays, is because it's so hard to predict who's going to actually score against this defense. They've just been so strapped and so locked down the entire way. And so it's been so hard. It's just easier to either take the attempts or simply just fade them. But it's been really, really freaking hard.
Goot says Trent seems locked. Listen, let me tell you something right now, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke up your skirt here. Since 7 a.m., this guy has been texting me. He's been up since 7 a.m. my time. Dude. I think that's 6 a.m. his time. Yeah. I can't fucking believe how locked he is. But I get it. Your favorite team's in the NBA Finals. You wake up, you feel like it's Christmas. I understand. And you're minus 800, 700 to win the fucking series. So
I honestly hate that.
Yeah.
It's obviously I'm very excited for the series, and it'll be really fucking bad if we lose it. But betting wise, there's just nothing really to look forward to. But I did say a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you've seen this BR betting kid getting blown up because of this fat ticket he's sweating out. Last 2 legs are Oilers Thunder to win the finals, and he has like a $15 parlay that pays out $270,000. Yeah. And like a month ago, I was like, dude, Fruity, we should fucking buy this parlay. Because he was willing to cash out, but the cash out offer was less than 100,000. And he was like, I'm not cashing out unless it's 100K. And he actually DM'd me because he was watching my stream when I was talking about his parlay. And I don't know if he was going to, I don't have a fucking 100K to just throw this kid at this very moment. But I absolutely fucking wish I did, because I would have bought it. I would have bought it off him, because the Oilers are winning and the Thunder are going to win. And that kid's going to win 270K. And obviously he's bricked up after last night's Oilers win. But yeah, I'm pissed, dude. I mean, I can't be pissed, but I should have fucking bought that.
if you bought that ticket and the Thunder lost the finals and you lost that wager, I'm just thinking from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
It probably would have broken the internet.
Oh my God, it would have broken me, dude.
No, it's a win-win. It's kind of
the cash out now is like 125K after last night.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And he's not taking it?
No. I know.
Wow.
I don't know what I would do, dude. I don't know.
what I would do either.
It's easy to say when you're not in that position, but if I'm in that position, I have no idea what the fuck I would do.
It's weird to say that I'm like, I don't want to be in that position, but then obviously, yes, I do want to be in that position. But yeah. It's hard. I mean, look, I've been in so many situations where I haven't cashed out and it hasn't worked, and I wish I did. Even like the Mets to win the fucking World Series, I think I put $200 on them at one point when they God, who they play within the Dodgers in the ALCS or something. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So. Anyways, it went from it was like a $300 cash out, and I kept jokingly being like, "I'm not cashing out. It's the Mets year. It's the Mets year." And every now and then, I'm like, that would have been a nice little $300 to have, and then go out to a nice dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me this: you got the Thunder in 5. If the Pacers are not going to steal, see, that has me concerned. You are too confident that the Thunder are going to take care of the first 2 games. I understand it's very, very difficult to play in Oklahoma City. I'm with you on, I think the Pacers offense is going to struggle against a defense like the Thunder. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of figure themselves out. But the concern I have is also what you just talked about. The first point you talked about the Thunder, their inexperience sometimes shows, and it did against that Nuggets team that really, I know they have championship experience, but like Porter Jr.'s back was broken. Aaron Gordon's Aaron Gordon, and he was a superstar in that fucking series. And Jamal Murray had like the flu the entire time, not making excuses. And they went 7 and they blew games. I think their inexperience can show a little bit with a lot of pressure at home. I kind of think if the Pacers take one, maybe it's game 1. But if the Pacers are going to win one game, you think it's game 3 or 4 in Indiana?
Yeah, for sure. And Rick Carlisle obviously has my respect as a head coach, and he could definitely coach his way into stealing a game in OKC. I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest, but I'm just like standing on biz that they won't lose a game at home, but they are definitely capable of doing it. I watched it firsthand courtside, blow a 13-point lead with a minute and a half to go. I watched it, against the Nuggets in that game 1. Who we should have absolutely held to not going 7 games. And, their inexperience definitely showed throughout that series for sure. But I also think the Pacers are inexperienced as well, which, will benefit OKC in that regard. But there's always some guy that kills us from 3. Every time there's a magnet ball guy. And I'm praying it's not Naismith because that would shock my prize picks. But there's going to be somebody. Somebody's going to have the magnet, and it absolutely could be TJ McConnell.
Dude. Okay. And yes, quantitative, or not Yale lad, sorry. How is an experience a negative for OKC but not Indy? You're absolutely right, Trent. Good point on that. And thank you for keeping me honest. Okay. I want to lean into that for just a second for tonight's game because you know your Thunder. So I want to know who is like, who could be a guy. I'm not saying who it is. You just threw out maybe TJ McConnell. I don't know how to play TJ McConnell, but I definitely see someone on the Pacers bench stepping up. But I don't know if it's PRA, assists, or whatever. He's a hustle guy, which I love. But someone making threes. I was actually looking for a cheeky bet on, didn't Jalen Williams finally start to get hot for the Thunder?
We go as far as he takes us. I know SGA is goated and he's going to drop 30 plus every fucking game, but we go as far as where J-Dub wants to fucking take us. And that's how we've gotten here. It's because he's dialed right now.
Yep. Hear me out. For just a long shot fun series play, most total threes in the series.
I was just about to bring this up.
Okay. Halliburton's plus 115. You think he gets clamped? I kind of agree. But I don't want to fade Halliburton directly because like he's earned my respect. Like,
yeah, for sure, he's earned.
Nobody's done more of a 180 in the NBA of being like soft, no respect to like the fucking dog. Yeah. Naismith is plus 370, the second favorite, who might also get clamped. You're fading him directly, which would be hilarious if he ends up being the winner. But I'm not pulling for that. Dort is 5-1, the third favorite. I'm not buying it. Jalen Williams is plus 950 to have the most threes in the series. Is that, be honest with me, is that not worth a half a unit?
The reason why I put Dort in my prize picks is because OKC is going to have to match from 3 against Indiana, because Indiana is going to be shooting them and they're going to be probably making them, and somebody's going to have to answer, and they're going to double SGA, and that's going to force SGA to have to find guys open on the perimeter. That's why I took SGA's assists, and that's why I took Lou's threes, is because they're going to have to fucking shoot threes, and their starting rotation's not great shooting threes. And we saw in the NBA Cup against the Bucks in the middle of the year, dude, I don't know if you remember that game. They lost by 40. And it was because the Bucks were magnet balling threes every possession, and OKC could not buy one from 3. I think they were 2 for 30 from 3 in that game. But Lou Dort is going to shoot 12 threes. He's going to shoot 10 threes a game. And that's why I took it, simply just because of the volume, because they're going to keep him on the floor to play defense lockdown for a lot of the game, and SGA is going to be doubled. And so every time you see an SGA pass to Lou Dort in the corner, that's exactly what I'm banking on in my prize picks, because it's going to happen a lot, and it's just whether or not if he makes them. But he's going to, in the 2 games this year against the Pacers, Lou Dort was 6 for 7 from 3 and like 3 of 8 from 3 in the 2 games they played this year. And that's exactly what we're going to have to rely on to be able to keep up the pace of this fast tempo Pacers offense that shoots a lot of threes. So, yeah.
So if anything, you would go Dort 5-1 and kind of leaning into why he's in your prize picks to begin with.
Yeah, honestly, dude, a long shot too. Against this Pacers team that's going to shoot a lot of threes, and we haven't really seen an opponent so far in this journey that shoots threes like them. Isaiah Joe is not a bad shout. Not a bad shout, because they're going to need to match it, and if Lou Dort's not making them, someone's going to fucking have to. And Jalen Williams, absolutely a good shout. I'm not shitting on that, but not saying Isaiah Joe is going to lead the whole series in threes, but he could absolutely be the guy who's a random, that ends up winning that category for sure.
By the way, and we'll wrap up here in a minute. It's almost 11. I really appreciate your time and you doing this. You posted your Pickett wrap up of SGA, which is hilarious. But is there a guy that has treated you well on the Thunder that you've bet on or off?
J-Dub for sure.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, his fantasy score, his RA. This postseason, he's been locked. And the games we lose are the games where he's 2 for 15, And I'm serious, dude. If the Thunder sweep, it's going to be because J-Dub is either leading in threes or leading in points. And there's not going to be any competition. I swear, dude, he dictates everything. And I also want to give my flowers to Presti for making what I think is the most evenly based trade I've seen in a long time with Caruso and Giddey. I've never seen a more just even trade because it benefited both sides in so many different ways. And not that Giddey's, bad. It just didn't work out on the Thunder. And Caruso was like the perfect piece for this young ass team. And he's the oldest guy on the team. But Caruso is really what has just changed the environment. And I feel like it brought more respect to this team, bringing a guy like Caruso in. And he's absolutely fucking made it worth it, dude. He's such a Thunder guy, like Aloha in chat saying, such a Thunder guy.
I'm very impressed. Usually those player for player trades. I remember when the Magic traded Rashard Lewis for Gilbert Arenas, and it didn't work out for either team.
Yeah.
Usually it's kind of like you swap trash for trash, but yeah, those guys are awesome. Alex Caruso has been awesome. All right, I'm going to name a few players on the Pacers. Tell me the guy that you're most scared of. Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell, or Thomas Bryant.
Fuck Thomas Bryant.
I only even included him for Snowman because I know Snowman loves him because he's from Indiana.
Fuck Thomas Bryant. I don't know how he made 3 threes in that last game 6. That was just like a sign from the universe that the Knicks don't deserve to be in the finals.
Agreed. Could not agree more. Well said.
Dude, Mathurin is. I hate Mathurin, bro, because I'll take him. He'll play 5 minutes, have 0 points, and then you don't play him, and he's got 25 points, and he's very annoying. But I can so see Mathurin take over for one of the games I think they drop. But yeah, he's like a really annoying player to bet on because one game he'll play, a fuck ton of minutes, and the next game he's not even on the floor when it matters. So I don't even know. I'm tired of betting on him, and I'm not going to take him in the series, but I could totally see a Mathurin game at some point.
Okay. All right. I'm making mental notes because I'm trying to figure out ways like how to attack this series. And I want to lean into Jalen Williams. Like I like what I've seen from him. If the Thunder, I like what you said, if the Thunder are going to sweep, which is a very good chance they do, because I took that over 5.5 games thinking the Pacers can win too. And I'm starting to get really worried that there's more respect for the Pacers than I initially thought there would be. And I'm getting the vibes of, do you remember the Denver Nuggets Miami Heat series? Where the fucking, it was actually 1-1 after 2 games. I had the Heat plus 2.5 games because I was like, oh, Jimmy Butler's a dog. He's not going to go down in 5. They went down in 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like that could very well happen. But I gotta respect the Pacers. Like the way they come out, they punch teams in the mouth, they play fearless, they're relentless. But at the same time, I can't talk about fuck Steak. Steak took the Pacers to win this, by the way. I just want you to know that. Yeah, he did. I think he's got a full unit.
Fuck Steak, dude.
Fuck Steak is right. Yeah. I think that's not gonna hit. I hope the series goes 6. I think it's gonna be a really, really good matchup between these two small market teams, which I love. I'm all for. But I want to get my hands dirty. I'm thinking Chet Holmgren, maybe game by game rebounds. I personally disagree. Apparently not just with you. A lot of people in the chat say they love Siakam to grub. I think Siakam's going to have a tough time against the Thunder. I really do. I don't know that he's going to be, I'm not fading him in the series, but I don't know that he's going to be somebody I'm on game by game. Someone random from the Pacers is going to be that, what the fuck did you call it? Magnet ball?
Yeah.
Someone from the Pacers is going to magnet ball. I don't know who it is, but I'm going to try to fucking play around with it.
It's somebody, dude. I already fucking see it. I already see it.
I'm going to, by the way, when you said Adams got whales, is that Adams got picks?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I have the right guy. Yeah, Adam's a good dude. He's usually in here as well. And has some pretty sharp reads. I'm going to play it like this. I'm going to do something TJ McConnell, whether it's PRA or points. I'm going to probably lean into Jalen Williams threes. I'm going to probably lean into Chet Holmgren rebounds. And I think the Pacers steal one of these first 2 games. I think Yay Lads or somebody said it might be game 1. Kind of agree with that too. If the Pacers win game 1, I think the Thunder will skull fuck them in game 2. That's kind of how I see that. Last question before I get you out of here. What game are you going to? Have you made that official?
Game 5.
You're going to game 5.
Yeah. So I'm banking on a Pacers win at some point. Yeah.
I can see it now. The Thunder up 3-1 in the series. Trent goes to game 5. The Aura Farm, one of the best photos that we've seen of you and SGA circulating on Twitter all day. And the Pacers jump out to like a 34-12 lead. The Thunder just didn't even get off the bus. That would make for some great content. Well, good luck. Trent, thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it. And great job on all the content and everything for the sports betting world. We appreciate it. You're a good dude and you're entertaining as fuck. So thank you very much. Will you be on live today?
Of course. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And good luck to Manny and Dog Boot Camp.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Be well, man. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. Thanks, Trent.
We'll be seeing chat.
All right. That was great. Trent's a good dude. Appreciate him taking the time, living dangerously. Under TJ McConnell, anything? Fuck you, quantitative eating. W's Trent. Yep. W Stream. Thank you. Great job, Trent. I got to be honest. I thought Trent was legitimately as sharp as I think I've ever seen him when it came to breaking down the Thunder and the Pacers. So, which I like because I'm leading into a few things. The only thing I'm not there with is the Siakam success. I don't think he's going to get it that easy. Kind of see what he means about Dort. Someone's going to have to bang threes for the Thunder. I'm going to go the Jalen Williams route. And, oh, man, I don't know. Someone for the Pacers being that X factor guy coming off the bench. I think I'm going to go McConnell. But when I asked him that question, I think he said Mathurin, and he's right. And a lot of people in the chat said the same thing, that it might be Mathurin. Trent Locke took 5 years, but kind of. Yeah, he was sharp as shit today, I thought he did great. No, I'm going to be bored today. I'm sorry. How is Steak not a mod? I don't know, but let's keep it that way. Listen, I will get to the MLB board a little bit later. Had some success yesterday. Thank goodness. Thank you to the Nationals. What a pitcher Mackenzie Gore is, by the way. I do have to get out of here. I have to run. I have to be somewhere in 45 minutes, and it's going to take me exactly 40 minutes to get there. So I am scurrying the fuck out of here. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out. Hallie Juke coming 9 times. This is Steak Stream. What you mean, Chewy? Yeah. Shout out to the Nationals. Go to W last night. Indeed. Thank you again to Trent. And I will. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to see you guys on Happy Hour for Pickett. That's right. That was my closing word. So if you don't already, this is what I'm going to do before we get out of here, because this worked pretty well last time. Before we get out of here, I'm going to get you the Pickett YouTube link. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to click it. You're going to subscribe to the channel. You're going to get notified when we are live. Hold on. Boom. There's me and Greg talking right there. Boom. There's the link. Everybody in YouTube, you're probably already subscribed. You're probably going to choose that route to go in. We are only live on the YouTube Pickett channel. Pickett YouTube channel. I do that all the time. If you are in Twitch, click that link. Go subscribe. We'll see you tonight, 4:30. You're going to get the whole gang. Greg and Steak will be live. We'll go through the MLB board then, and we'll talk. We'll see what those guys like for their best bets. I'm going to put a parlay together, and I think it's going to be Jalen Williams threes. I think it's going to be Chet boards, and I think it's probably going to be TJ McConnell something. That's what I like in this first game. Yep. Hey, Zeus, appreciate you. MJ is on J-Will points. Well, there you go. Yeah, don't want to be on the opposite side of that guy. So that's great. Do we have a happy hour tonight? Yes, we do. I hope you enjoyed my long fucking ramble about it. It's Jari. What's up? Okay. I think you've got the link. I think you've got everything you need. I'm out of here. Thank you again to Trent. Really appreciate him taking the time and coming on. That was awesome. Make sure you go head over to the Book It channel. I know BTL's live at 12:30. And then Trent's on at noon. All right, guys, have a great day. Good luck on your bets. I'll catch you later this evening for happy hour. Peace.